We have given them close to $5 billion with a B. Although that's not big numbers here, I can assure you in East Tennessee that's a whole heck of a lot of money. Would you have any idea how many, any of y'all have any idea how many NGOs that we believe could be working out of Afghanistan right now? You may have a shot in the dark.
No, I have no idea, I'm afraid. Sorry.
Would you believe close to 1,000? 1,000.
Yes.
And yet, Congress, in its infinite wisdom, has taken almost, and we're working on 2 years now to get this bill out.
All right, today we're diving into a congressional hearing clip that's, well, full of contradictions, fear-mongering, and some pretty reckless claims. Let's just say it's a classic case of turning humanitarian work into a political punching bag. Let's watch.
Thank you, Chair Lady. I think the irony of all ironies here is that our friends across the aisle keep bringing up Elon Musk and what a great person he is. And I guess about a week ago, they were out to kill him. So this is backwards day as always. Mr. Krikorian, Alejandro Mayorkas served as the United States border czar for 4 years. What did he do before his appointment?
He's an attorney, and he was on the board of, among other things, HIAS, which is the Hebrew Immigrant Aid Society, which is one of the nonprofit groups that resettles refugees, and was also involved in this movement of illegal immigrants up through Latin America.
Okay. You think it's a good thing that Mayorkas served at an NGO whose goal it was mass migrant resettlement in the U.S.?
Well, I disagree with the goal, obviously, but no, I think it was a problem because there's a kind of, conflict of interest there. I mean, he was essentially implementing in government policy and having these nonprofit groups like HIAS, but many others, sort of as proxies to promote the policies that the administration was trying to implement.
Well, in 2021 alone, this organization received over $40.9 million in grants from the Department of Health and Human Services, State and Homeland Security. Don't you think that is a direct conflict of interest?
Yeah, in the sense that some of that was spent on migration causes, yes, I think so. And that probably was at least part of the reason that the House impeached Secretary Mayorkas.
I guess it's a little bit like a congressman becoming a lobbyist.
Kind of, I guess.
Nothing
personal against anybody here.
That's all right. Well, none of us better be lobbyists or we need to go to jail. At what point do you believe humanitarian aid and assistance becomes material support for illegal activity?
I'm not sure I'd be able to draw kind of a specific line and say here's where it is, but at this scale, there's simply no way that these organizations did not see themselves as part of a network to subvert U.S. immigration law. You know, the occasional provision of, water to somebody who's in real distress is one thing. Setting up a network, essentially a kind of aid station network,
a pipeline
from South America to the border, is not something that it's not comparable in any way. It's not just different in scale, it's different in kind.
Yeah. Myself and the chair lady, she is my co-sponsor on a bill to literally defund the Taliban. As it turns out, we're sending them close to $40 million a week. I have a State Department document that was classified documents become unclassified. We have given them close to $5 billion with a B. Although that's not big numbers here, I can assure you in East Tennessee that's a whole heck of a lot of money. Would you have any idea how many, any of y'all have any idea how many NGOs that we believe could be working out of Afghanistan right now? You may have a shot in the dark.
No, I have no idea, I'm afraid. Sorry.
Would you believe close to 1,000? 1,000.
Yes.
And yet, Congress, in its infinite wisdom, has taken almost, and we're working on 2 years now to get this bill out and get it to the Senate and get them to pass it. To me, it is criminal. It is criminal what these organizations are doing. $40 million a week to the Taliban. They throw gay folks off of buildings. They rape women and children. And then they stone the women after somehow it's their fault. I mean, these are godless creatures, and we are funding them with our tax dollars. And Americans, I believe, are getting rich off of it. I believe that some of the money is flowing back here through some of these NGOs. And I would sure like to see that paper trail solidified in my mind so I could point to it. And if it's a member of Congress again, they need to be let out of here in handcuffs. I want to thank, do any of you like to comment on any of that?
I would like to say, sir, that nonprofit organizations, if they are working in Afghanistan, it's to meet the tremendous humanitarian needs that
I can
exist.
assure you that, ma'am. Yeah,
And I
but
think conflating nonprofits with the Taliban is deeply dangerous.
well,
and
they
reckless.
actually, ma'am, they actually take a cut off of everything that goes through there, just like the mob would. There's 3 major banks, and they get their money off, and it's been documented by government officials. And I've run out of time. Chair Lady, I yield nothing back to you.
Mass migrant resettlement? You mean helping refugees fleeing war, famine, and persecution find a safe place to live? That's called compassion. That's called international leadership. That's called America doing the right thing. And HIAS, by the way, has been helping resettle refugees since star 1881 star. That's before any of us were born, and definitely before this congressman decided it was politically convenient to pretend caring for people is a conflict of interest. Right, because God forbid we use taxpayer money to help actual human beings. But no problem using it for endless wars, corporate bailouts, or tax breaks for billionaires. Huh? This talking point about conflict of interest is just smoke. Mayorkas serving on the board of a nonprofit before holding office is called experience. That's what we want in government. People who understand real-world problems. You hear that? Providing water is okay, but setting up humanitarian corridors is suddenly evil. What this really shows is that they don't actually care about legality or policy. They just don't want migrants here. Period. The dehumanization is off the charts. These aren't illegal activities. These are people trying to survive. Now we're really off the rails. This whole section sounds like it was designed to stir up rage, not to inform. Let me be clear. Humanitarian aid to Afghanistan doesn't go to the Taliban. It goes to people starving, people sick, people trying to live under impossible conditions. Conflating nonprofits with terrorists? That's not just wrong, it's dangerous. And let's not pretend this is about accountability. This is about fear, projection, and creating a villain so you don't look at the real ones. This is absolutely grotesque. You can criticize foreign policy without using such graphic, inflammatory language. But here's the kicker. The people suffering under the Taliban are exactly the people these nonprofits are trying to help. So are you angry at the problem or at the people trying to solve it? This isn't patriotism, it's propaganda. Real patriotism is standing up for values like justice, compassion, and human dignity, not demonizing refugees or painting nonprofits as enemies of the state. And here's the real kicker. If you think government waste is the problem, maybe start with the Pentagon budget, not with people trying to feed kids on the border. Thanks for sticking with me, y'all. If you believe in America that leads with empathy, not fear, smash that subscribe button, give this video a like, and drop a comment with your thoughts. This is True Voice. I'm Andrew. Stay loud, stay proud, and stay informed.